everybody, and welcome to lesson number 2 in the series, How to Play the Guitar. I don't know how I came up with that name. Today's lesson is going to be a really fun and easy lesson. Before we start, I want to talk just for a minute. I am brand new at making videos, so thank you for putting up with the quality of these things. I promise I'm working on it, and the video quality and audio quality will get better, but I think these are pretty good for somebody who's been doing this for a week. Okay, so now I just want to say that in the midst of all this COVID-19 insanity, I'm really grateful to the people that are working and preventing our society from totally collapsing, and the people that are staying home. Thank you so much for helping to stop the spread of this thing, and please stay healthy. I want you to know that I'm praying for everybody who's watching this video. I'm not only praying that these guitar lessons are a blessing to you and that you use this to develop a skill that will make your life better and help you lead people into the presence of God, but I'm also praying that you'll stay healthy, be smart about the things that we do in this time, and look for the blessings that we wouldn't normally see. I've come in contact with so many blessings since I've been stuck at home that it's really cool. Okay, so now let's get right into this thing. Today we are going to learn a new chord. We're going to learn our first song. We're going to learn a whole bunch of stuff that you don't need to practice, but it'll be here on the video in case you want to review it. Speaking of practice, I am hoping that you've all practiced a little bit. Remember, it's better to practice a couple minutes every day than all day once a week. Just pick up your guitar every day. Pretty soon you'll get in the habit, and I promise the first week or first couple of weeks are the hardest part because you're just learning how to play the chords, and it might be a little bit tender on your fingertips, but once you get used to it, it just gets more and more fun. Okay, so let's begin by getting tuned up, and I'm going to tell you the very most important thing about tuning your guitar, more important than anything else. Never ever tune your guitar like this. Always tune it like this, or even better, down. The reason is, sometimes if you tune your string too tight, it'll break and snap off, and if you're like this and the string snaps off, it can hit you in the face or in the eye, and that would be really bad. So let's tune our guitars. This is my E chord. This is what my low E string sounds like. If you need to pause and tune your guitar, now's the time. Welcome back if you paused. Okay, so I told you I'm going to teach you some things you won't need to practice. And the first thing is the best way to hold a guitar. I don't believe there's a right way or a wrong way. Jimi Hendrix held it behind his head. But the best way is to just sit down and put it on your leg. And that's where it is. And adjust your strap so when you stand up it stays in the same place. About that far away from your neck or your chin. And what I want to do now as we move forward is I want to tell you why I'm teaching you the things I'm teaching. If I ever forget, just leave a comment. Okay, the reason why you want to hold your guitar here is really two reasons. One, your left hand finger muscles don't have to readjust and learn new things if you stand up and your guitar is suddenly 2 feet lower. And the other reason, I think is even more important, it's easier to play when it's up here. If you look at the really great guitar players like Larry Carlton, Eric Clapton, Andre Segovia, Jerry Garcia, they've all got their guitar up kind of high. You could look at guys like Slash, who I love, I think he's great. He wears it down by his knees. But when he's on stage and he plays a difficult part, he's got to lift it up somehow. So up there. Next, real quick, how to hold a guitar pick. I'm going to show you the best way. It's not the right way or the wrong way, but I'm going to show you the best way, and then I'm going to tell you why. You want to take your hand and make a fist, but make it really loose. And then you put it between your thumb and your index finger and hold it like that. I'll try to show you some different angles so you can see. And now I'll tell you why. this is a lot better than this. Because it's just physics. Moving your guitar pick up and down with your hand in a fist requires a lot less energy than moving it like that. Try it and you'll see. And it's probably not real important right now, but it's best to get in the good habits at the beginning. When you start playing stuff like that, it's going to be easier when your guitar pick is like that. I am mumbling a lot. I'm sorry. Okay, let's move right on. Last week we learned 4 chords: G, C, D, E minor, and we also learned how to play G a couple different ways, like that and like that. The reason I'm not showing you charts of the fingering is because I want you to memorize these chords. There's only a few of them. We're already almost halfway done with all the chords we're going to learn in this series of beginning. So memorize these chords, and I'm just hoping that you practiced and you could change smoothly between chords. You don't have to be fast. It's okay if you look over at your hand like that, but I don't want you to be at the place where you're playing a chord and then you lift up your hand and you gotta look and put each finger down where it goes. Hear how that wasn't fast? I mean, it wasn't smooth. Okay, so now we're going to learn a new chord. Let's start by playing the C chord that we learned last week. And lift up your ring finger and put it down on the 2nd fret of the G string. That's A minor. Now, I want you to practice this for 30 seconds or so, just going back and forth between C and A minor. Nice and smooth. You can pause and practice that for 10 seconds or 30 seconds, whatever. Okay, now you're back. Now, we're going to learn a song. The name of this song is Lord, I Lift Your Name on High. I'm sure you know that song, maybe. It's a great song. This song tells the gospel in a verse and a chorus. I want to tell you a story about this song. I was on a mission trip in Mexico, and I went with my friend, and we were at this church, and I was going to preach. Before I preached, they had worship music, then they take an offering, and then with a translator I preach, because everybody there just speaks Spanish, and the whole thing is in Spanish, and we don't understand any of the songs, but they played Lord, I Lift Your Name on High in Spanish, and when my friend heard it, he just felt so connected to that place and the presence of God that when they did the offering, he took all his money and put it in the basket, and he was broke until we crossed the border the next day and got back into the U.S. where he could use a credit card. So maybe it's a really good song. I don't know. I like it. The chords for it are 5 chords, and guess what? They're the ones we've learned. G, C, D, E minor, and A only happens once in the song. The bulk of the song is G, D. I lied, it's G, C, D, C. Kind of like the band AC/DC, but it's G, C, D, C. So let's practice that. G, C, D, C. Okay, now, before we learn the song, we're going to learn 2 right-hand strumming patterns. You can't just hit it at random. You've got to have some kind of pattern with your right hand. And these are really easy ones. Don't be scared. It's going to be simple. The first one's so easy. All it is up, down, repeat. Let's try doing that slowly together. 1, 2, ready, go. Nice and smooth. Down, up, down, up. Now let's try doing it fast. If I said it was up, down, I lied. It's down, up. Repeat. 1, 2, ready, go. that with me? Nice and even. I'm playing a G chord. That's pattern number 1. Let's try the song with strumming pattern number 1. And then we're going to learn it with a new strumming pattern that's just a little tiny bit harder, and it's going to make the song sound a lot better. Remember, G, C, D, C. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, that's good. Let's stop. This is the first time I've ever made a mistake, or maybe I already told you that. We're going to learn about a capo. If you have a capo, great. I hope you do, because I can't sing that song in this key. This is the kind of capo I like. They've got a little rubber thing to protect the wood on my neck, and they're so easy to use. You just squeeze it and plop it on. I'm going to go on the 2nd fret, that's what I wanted to tell you, is a part of the guitar you need to know. They're called frets, and those are these little metal bars. Okay? Get rid of this for a second. This is the 1st fret right here. 2nd fret, and so on. And when I say put your finger on the 2nd fret, I do not mean put your finger right on the fret. See how my finger's right on the fret? Listen to how bad it sounds. When I say on the 2nd fret, I mean behind the fret a little bit. You know how nice and clear that is? Compare that to this. Don't be on the fret. On the 2nd fret really means between this 1st and 2nd fret, somewhere in there. So we're going to put the capo on the 2nd fret, which technically really means between the 1st and the 2nd fret. Now, I've got a good capo and a good guitar, so it's probably still in tune. Sometimes you put one on a $3,000 Les Paul and it goes out of tune. I don't know why, but that's close enough for rock and roll. Ready? Down, up, G, C, D, C. 1, 2, ready, go. There for a second, because now we're going to put in the part where it goes E minor, A minor one time. Let's take it from the cross to the grave. Ready, go. From the cross to the grave, from the grave to the sky, Lord, I lift your name on high. Let's do that part again. From the cross to the grave, from the grave to the sky, Lord, I lift your name on high. Okay, now we're ready for strumming pattern number 2. And it is also really simple. And when you're using your right hand, play in the whole area. This is the whole. Play in that whole area. If you play down here, it's going to sound real trebly. If you play up here, it's going to sound more bassy. You should be playing right around there. Sometimes in these videos, I'm going to play up here just so you can see what I'm doing. But really, you should be around here. Okay, strumming pattern number 2 is going to be down, then down, up 3 times. So it's going to be down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, So let's try that together. Remember, down, then down and up 3 times. 1, 2, ready, go. Now let's gradually do it a little faster. right, that's the new song. Okay, I've got some good news. You've learned about half the chords you need to know to play almost every song your worship team does, as long as you've got one of these things. The bad news is you have to listen to me sing. I've probably had 1 hour of vocal lessons in my whole life, if you total them all up, maybe 2. So thanks, Pastor Chris, and thanks, Pastor Roberto, for the singing lessons. One thing I know for sure is if you can sing, you got to drink water. We all got to drink of water and drink a lot of water. Eat healthy food, get some exercise, stay home and wash our hands, okay? That's what the world's all about today. Pretty soon we're going to be back to normal. We're going to be back in our churches singing these songs. And some of you people didn't know how to play the guitar at all a couple weeks ago. You're going to be right up there with your worship team doing this. Tell you that playing music is not only fun, it's the most fun thing I know of. Now, leave some comments. If you have any questions, any song requests, just leave a comment. I'll get back to you. I want to talk a little bit about music theory at the end of every lesson because it's something that's important. And today, I'm going to start off by telling you just my general thoughts on music theory with a little story. I was taking a class in jazz improvisation at our local community college until this virus hit. The class went almost halfway through and then the whole school shut down. The teacher said something like, there is absolutely no such thing as a D2 chord. There is no such thing as a 2 chord. It is a 9th chord. And he spoke with authority as the professor. I not only disagree, I completely disagree 100%, but I didn't say anything. But what I learned is it doesn't matter to me at all if I'm right. It doesn't matter what you call it. What matters is that you are communicating effectively with the people you're playing music with, and you understand what's on the piece of paper. I'm going to demonstrate to you. This I would call a D2 chord because it's got the 2 of the scale in it. This is what I would call a D9 chord because it's got a 7 and a 9. I'll explain that to you next week, okay? The point I'm trying to make is communication is key. And the thing that's great about playing music is some of the people you're going to play music with are really nice people and they're great musicians. And when you're in that situation, it is awesome. I would rather be with people that are nice than great musicians. Occasionally you get both. And it's like not the best thing in the world. Probably the best thing in the world is my relationship with God, the fact that my name is written in the book of life. I don't think music compares with that, but besides that, it's right at the top. So remember, I'm praying for you because I love you, and I will see you next time on Monday. Hit the subscribe button if you want to help me out, and have a blessed day. Bye.